Hey folks, End All Be All here, and we are back with the expanded 5v5. Pretty exciting stuff. I did have a collaboration video with Zaret, a couple of them, where I talked in detail about expanded 5v5 and what teams I think are really good for offense and defense. So it was a good conversation with Zaret. So please go and check out those videos if you haven't already. I mean, all the guys subscribed to me are probably already subscribed to Zaret as well. So most of you must have already seen that video. But just wanted to let you know that I've covered most of my thoughts in those couple of videos. So let's dive right into the battles, and I'll show you my strategy live with all the opponents that I'm facing. Now, this particular battle that I have is my second battle for this week. My first battle, I recorded it, and I'll give a link down below. Didn't really give commentary for that. It was a pretty good battle, though. It was against a really good opponent, 800k lifetime banners, 4 GLs just like me, with pretty decent, offensive record. So it turned out to be an efficiency battle, and my opponent almost won, but in the end he couldn't clear one zone. I think he didn't have time towards the end, but. That was a good battle, and believe it or not, that was the easiest. That's the easiest battle that I anticipate for this week because this week is sort of crazy, as you'll see my current opponent. So feel free to check out the first battle in the link down below. My current opponent is Voland from the guild Red Machine. I believe it's a Russian guild. And look at those lifetime banners, 861k. And this guy is on a winning streak. He hasn't lost a battle in the last 25 matches, and tends to go extremely defense heavy, as you'll see from the stats. Um, He's reached Kyber 264 rank before, so he can play efficiency when he wants to. But look at over here, this successful defense is 827 compared to offensive battles 2078. This is pretty close to my defensive record as well because I have about 2000, 2100 of offensive battles, and my defensive holds are about 900. And I like to think that I set a tough defense and get a lot of holds. So this guy is pretty close to that. And when I was scouting his history, I realized that, in all his matches, this guy goes extremely defense heavy. He's got 5 GLs, by the way. Let me show you guys his character roster. So he's got 5 GLs, including the new JMK R8 and Ultimate. So I think what he's done he didn't put his ultimate on his Jedi Master Luke. He waited till he got Kenobi, and then he put his ultimates mats directly out there and got him to R8. So, I'm definitely an underdog over here because I have only 4 GLs. This guy's got 5, and this guy's got crazy speed mods as well. I've got like plus 11 or 12, plus 25 speed mods, and this guy has got like 25 plus 25 speed mods. So definitely out mods me, out GLs me. So for a change, I'm the underdog over here. And this guy, if I look at his history, what he's typically done is he keeps at least 3 GLs on defense. Even a couple of months back, before he even had his fifth GL Kenobi, he would still keep 3 of his 4 GLs on defense. And the way that he would win is he would prevent his opponents from clearing the board. In most cases, opponents would only be able to clear one zone or two zones, and then he would clear the on offense. And even if he clears inefficiently, drops a battle or two, it doesn't matter because he full clears and his opponents don't full clear. In fact, in my scouting history, the last 2-3 seasons, I haven't seen anyone one shot him at all. So that's how tough of a defense this guy keeps. He makes tons of mistakes on offense, but that really doesn't matter because he lets his defense speak for himself. So what I do for opponents like that is my strategy is always try to get your opponents out of their comfort zone. So if, for example, your opponent is an efficiency player and likes to keep everything on offense and make it an efficiency match, then you have to try to make it a slugfest. Keep a tough defense, force them to drop battles or to prevent the full clear. Make it a slugfest if the opponent is an efficiency player. If your opponent is like this, like likes to keep a tough defense and likes to really rely on his defense to win the match, then you have to make it an efficiency game. You have to force your opponent out of their comfort zone. So that's what I decided to do over here. Given that the style of this player is extremely defensive heavy, I kept all 4 of my GLs on offense, and I kept a relatively lighter defense to what I usually keep. But my goal was to one shot my opponent efficiently and force him to play the efficiency game. And if he makes any mistake like he usually does on offense, then that is going to come back to bite him. So that's my goal with this match. So let's go in and take a look at my defenses. I still like to keep my gas on defense, even if I'm going relatively lighter defense, because it's especially in the bottom zone, it's such a great team to have out there because it forces your opponent to think whether I should expend a GL over here or not, or try to mirror it for less banners. I kept my DR squad as well, and then I kept CLS. And if you notice over here, I don't have C3PO in there. I've Nest in there because what I've seen my opponent do is he takes his own CLS squad against enemy CLSs, and I felt if putting Nest in there will make him think twice about that. And his Han is faster than my Han, so I think if I just kept a regular C3PO squad, this would have been one shot pretty easily. So I kept Nest in there, and I figured even if he keeps the CLS on defense and takes maybe like Grievous against this, Grievous also might cause some problems because over here I've got high tenacity on both my Chewies, on my Nest as well, 150 to 180% tenacity even before the bonuses. So Grievous teams relies a lot on debuffs and target locks and all of that. So if you've got high tenacity characters, it makes it that much less efficient, and it forces my opponent to then think about using a GL out there. So that's the front zone. And then at the back, I have kept I've kept my Padme squad. This is a watered down Padme squad because I kept GK on offense to use with my Jedi Master Kenobi. I've kept a Dooku squad, nothing much out there. It's got a few AoEs and meant to strip banners. And then I've got a Finn squad. And if you notice over here, I've got my Resistance heroes, Finn and Poe over here. Usually I keep them with Rey. But in this case, I felt given that this team really needs a speed bump, I kept them over here just to get that extra damage and defense boost from a Finn lead. And you've got Scavenger Ray over here to deal some extra damage as well. So that's decently fast team, 330 speed. And then over here you've got I've kept again 4 uniformly tougher teams. I've kept Crew. This is the version of Crew that I love with Stormtrooper and Hux and Red Trooper. And then I've kept a Poggle team with Django in there. Usually I keep GBA lead, but this is a Poggle lead for extra offense. So Django with R7 I think will cause some problems over here. And then I've kept Separatist with General Grievous with Newt. And then over here, if you see the Rey team, instead of the heroes, which I've kept under a separate Finn team, I've kept C3PO in here. If you notice, I moved C3PO from the Rebel squad up to the JTR squad, and that actually makes the squad a really tough cookie because you've got 3 droids over here. So this team is going to be phenomenally fast. You've got tons of exposers, confuse. People have stopped using C3PO on a JTR squad, but I wanted to throw my opponent a curveball and see if this causes any issues. I was considering putting a 4th droid in there, but I thought Han is a great addition in there just for the immense offense that he has and the build up that he has on counter chance and all of that. He can get really tricky in any squad with JTR. So that's what I've kept over here in the front zone up top. Relatively trickier teams for being non-GLs. And then at the back for ships, as usual, I've kept both my Get 2 ships. This is going to be a standard staple for me in GAC because I'm getting more and more comfortable countering all kinds of ships without Get ships. Now, my opponent has kept pretty rough squads. You can see over here up top, apart from the CLS, apart from the Night Sister squad, which is relatively lower relic, the others are pretty hefty. We've got Darth Revan squad, you've got CLS squad, which he's usually never kept on defense, but he's kept it over here. So I didn't anticipate that. And then he's got the BAM squad with Nest as well, which can get tricky. And then he's got his sister squad over here. And then down south, as expected, my opponent has kept 3 of his GLs. He's got his Rey with JTR and Finn, Resistance Hero Finn. That squad is meant to be an anti-Vader squad, and it's meant to be a little problematic for Sith Eternal as well. I don't have Sith Eternal, so that doesn't matter for me. Then he's got his JMK squad. He kept his ultimate JMK on defense. He doesn't have Cam, so he kept it with a few other Jedi's, which is really surprising because apart from Shakti, the others are all non-Galactic Republic. So it's a little watered down version of the JMK squad, especially a JMK R8 JMK with ultimate. You want him to be with other Galactic Republic Jedi, or at least other Galactic Republic, even if they're not Jedi. And then he's got SLKR squad over here as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the battles. I decided to go with the Ray Mirror first, and I usually keep my BAM team on defense, but this time I saved it on offense because I kept Nest with my rebels, and I wanted to take the BAM in with the Ray for decent banners. I've kept my Stormtrooper Han as an extra taunt in there, but this is basically I plan to just survive as many ultimates and whirlwinds as I can with this team, and at the same time with my whirlwinds take out the enemy team one by one, and then have only Ray left towards the end. So Ray mirrors are usually pretty straightforward if you play it, reasonably straight, pretty well. All you need to do is time your ultimates properly and time your whirlwinds right. Make sure you land your whirlwinds on people who don't have lifeblood. And usually the tanks which are taunting typically tend to not have lifeblood on them compared to a 3v3 where it's more likely that the tanks have got lifeblood. In 5v5, usually the weakest characters get lifeblood, and it's usually not the tanks, even if you've got a couple of tanks in there. So you see I was able to take out JTR in the first whirlwind. And now I wait over here because the turn meter is less than 30%, so I wait to do my ultimate until Ray has had a chance to get more than 30% turn meter. That's when you decide to use your ultimate. So now you see Ray is at more than 50% turn meter. I use my ultimate, and then that times it right because Ray then uses her ultimate. So I'm just in the process of getting these teams down one by one. Everyone is a damage immunity right now. I do my ultimate, and I'm able to take quite a few characters down to low health. Another lifeblood, Ray is in damage immunity. I get into my stance again and try to see if I can't take out somebody else. Yep, Hero Finn is always a good target to take out, especially if no one else is taunting. So here you can see I'm withstanding most of the whirlwinds that Ray is having. My my tank IG-11 is extremely tanky and has good regeneration, and with lifeblood it's he can withstand quite a lot. So here you can see over here I'm doing pretty well. Ray is at more than 30% turn meter, so I do my ultimate. This is the right time to do it, and I put damage immunity on my main tank and get a little bit more of a heal up. The Ray goes, and now I do my ultimate, and I'm left with only Ray. So this is a much easier battle to control now, and I've still got 2.5 minutes left. So Ray does the ultimate, does a whirlwind, takes out a little bit more of protection from my IG-11, but I continue on with my own Ray. There's a little bit of two of my tanks are still taunting. I should have probably done a lifeblood over here, but you can see over here the Ray has taken out my Stormtrooper Han. So maybe he would have still remained alive if I had done lifeblood, but not much of an issue over here. There, so IG-11 gets the kill and I get 54 banners. That should have been 53, 57, but it's still a win is a win because this is not going to be an efficiency. Well, actually, it might end up being efficiency, depends on how well my opponent does. So JMK, I decide to mirror. I have my own cam, so I'm not too worried about this particular matchup. I decide to mirror, and I take in a decent Jedi over there, Ahsoka and Kenobi, and then I took Ayla there. She's another one good Galactic Republic with all the SS based. Any SS based team like JKR or JML or Jedi Master Kenobi like this, Ayla does very well over there just because she can, just because she can assist and stun like what we see over here. So I'm trying to take down. See, another stun from Ayla landed. So trying to take down Shakti because she's the only other Galactic Republic Jedi over there, and she's the only one with, I think, decent damage. Uh, then I go after Basti, get rid of her. Yeah, it's pretty much overkill, but not much of an issue. And then I go after, I think, go after Old Ben. Yep. Land another stun over here with Ayla. And then I reach my ultimate, and there you go. This guy's dead with a couple of shots. Cam is so good in this team. Did a basic over there to dispel some of those buffs that Kenobi had. Now he's probably going to reach his ultimate unless we can get him down fast. Yeah, he healed up a little bit, but I think with this calling Cam to assist, I should be able to take care of Kenobi. There we go. We managed to get rid of him before he reached his ultimate, and we got a decent 60 against it. It's a waste of a lot of good Jedi like Basti and Hoda and all that, and Shakti as well. All of those could be used elsewhere, um, but um, but that's fine. Yeah, maybe my opponent doesn't have enough Galactic Republic Jedi, or maybe he wanted to use his Galactic Republic in a separate team like Gas or Kenobi and all that. Um, then I use my JML versus the SLKR. This is a pretty hard counter. I could have taken JKR as well because he's the he's the other good Jedi that you can take over here. This is a typically a good counter against that, but I felt it might become an efficiency battle, so I needed to make sure I got the skill in one shot. Especially if I didn't know what my opponent had at the back, another GL or maybe more cheese. So I need to be able to make sure that I do a decent job against this guy in terms of banners. So landed a good amount of ability blocks over here. Stun everyone. Just have to control the rest of the team and make sure I take out Sith Trooper and Hux whenever I can. And then keep the team under check. So Sith Trooper was missed, but this takes him out. And then I need to go after Hux. He's doing tons of damage to my Jedi Master Luke, but I've got the taunt back. Yeah, I've got the taunt back now, and now it's just a question of ability blocking him, making sure I prevent him from reaching his ultimate, and then end with at least 59 banners, if not 58, if not 60, because don't know if I'll be able to recover full protection on my Jedi Master Luke, but do end up with full health. So 59 banners over there. So good outcome. So the first wall was one shot with pretty decent banners. Now let's see what's at the back. So at the back, my opponent has kept pretty much cheese. So he's relied so much on his teams in the front holding and nobody getting through his GL walls that he's pretty confident that nobody's going to reach the back. And yeah, it's going to be pretty easy wins for him usually if people don't clear him. So now I decide to take out the next toughest teams, the Darth Revan, CLS, and all of that. The Darth Revan, I decide to use the Vader Thrawn counter because his Darth Revan is at 340 something speed, and his Basti is at 326, pretty fast. So my Vader is at let's see. So once I plug in my Vader over there, I believe my Vader is at 279 speed. Let's see. Yep, 279 speed. And I have, that's the reason I needed to get Palpatine in there, because if I do the math, plus 16 for Vader, plus 16 for Palp, plus 8 for Shore and 8 for Grand Admiral Thrawn, that adds up to 327, which is exactly one speed faster than the Basti at 326. So if I didn't have Palp, I wouldn't have been able to make that speed. So I kept Palp over there, not in the lead because I think Grand Admiral Thrawn lead is much better than Palp. But if you need to make up the speed, you can always throw Palp in there. Otherwise, these four by themselves should be more than enough to get the job done. Thrawn, Vader, Watt, and Shore. It's a pretty common counter and pretty successful as long as you cull Vader first, cull Darth Revan first and take him out. So you can see over here, give my weapon stack to Vader first and foremost, and then this guy goes and fears. My Vader goes next, and then I get into Merciless. I apply. So unfortunately, when I went into Merciless, um, what got feared because he applied a dot on Malik, but was still able to take out Vader no problem at all. And now it's just a question of taking out the other guys before they get to go. Um, yep, here I do a basic on him, and now I do. Let's see. I think I decide to take out the. Yeah, decide to take out Sith Marauder because he was an R7 Sith Marauder. Now here, I don't have Corrupted Battle Meditation on my Thrawn, so I decide to do a Fracture. Now I need to do what I can to preserve banners because I'm in a good state right now. Only two of them are left, and I can reasonably end with full health and full protection if I play this right. So Tank Tech to Shore. And I need to get rid of Basti as soon as I can. I pass this back to Shore to cleanse him, to get him to full health and full protection, and then try to see if I can't get rid of Basti over here. Let's see, Health Tech 2, Pal. Pal was really not doing anything much over here, but he was just needed for the speed. And now I get into Merciless again, and I believe I do a Culling Blade on Basti. Yup, get rid of him because get rid of her because she can get annoying. And now I need to I need to make sure I delay the battle a little bit to end with full health and full protection. My Shore is almost at full protection. Everyone else is doing a decent job, but I think I just decided to pass it to Vader to finish it off. I think I was fine with 59. I didn't want to delay it too much. So 59, good outcome on our Darth Vader squad. I could have used Imperial Troopers as well against it, but my Weirs wouldn't have outsped the Darth Revan because it was pretty fast. So that's why I decided to go in with the Darth Vader counter. And now against the BAM team, one of the most consistent counters is Jedi Knight Revan. It's very simple. You just target BAM and then go after him and finish him before he gets a chance to do Whistling Birds. But over here, what I did was I took in Shakti because I used my Hoda with another squad. I believe it was Jedi Master Luke. So I got Shakti and Ezra in there to act as fillers because even Basti is not here. But that's fine. I think the main guys over here are going to be Jedi Master Yoda, JKR, and Jolie. Those are the main characters over here. Now he's gone into his damage mode, so I need to take him down before he can get any more damage done. So my Ezra got Savior triggered, which helped because he got a bonus turn, and then he was able to call that guy to assist GMY. And now that BAM is gone, the rest of the squad will be taken down pretty easily. There's just a question of recovering enough banners. Need to make sure that I'm efficient in all these battles, get at least 58, 59, if not 60s. Yeah, now I'm focusing down on Quill next because IG-11 will heal pretty well, so no point trying to take him down. Do a big hit on Ness just to get her down to manageable health. I don't want the hassle of trying to mark her towards the end and trying to reduce her max health. If I can, I'm trying to get Ness down organically once she gets to go and has no bonus protection. Okay, so IG-11 is down, and now Nest, with one big hit from the basic, Nest is down, and I get 58 banners. So doing pretty well so far. Now, this is going to be a tricky battle. CLS, the full-fledged CLS squad is always tough, and you don't really know what to take against it. I mean, I do have my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but it can go sideways because this is my B team. I don't have my premier first order support characters like Hux or any of the tanks. There's absolutely no tank over here at all. And these guys do pretty badly. It's essentially a solo from SLKR. So I land a stun on Chewie, and you can see my characters are being taken out pretty easily. And I get rid of Chewie, but now C-3PO and Chewie is assisting again and doing tons of damage. So I need to be able to get rid of him fast. And you can see my Kylo is already in yellow, and I'm having tons of issues over here. And my whole support squad is out. So got rid of the other Chewie at least. So this is good. So I've got blind, which means that I can do my AoE and not get countered. So that's one advantage of having that blind. Now I still need to get rid of these characters because they're doing tons of damage and they've got me into yellow health right now, which is pretty troubling with 2 stacks of confuse. So got rid of um, Han, and now we are in a much better situation. So 47 banners. So I managed to get back to full health, but still it was extremely dicey. Um, I wouldn't recommend that in the future. If you've got any other better counters, you should definitely use those. Any other GL would have done fine against it, but SLKR, especially with B tier teams, does pretty badly against CLS. All right. Now, the rest of the squads are pretty easy enough, so I decided to take in my troopers against these sisters. These are not that great sisters, so it's really not much of a battle. Um, but troopers are, again, one of those squads which are so versatile. You can use them against practically anything in 5v5 these days, including tougher teams like Darth Revan and Padme squads or anything else like that. So nothing much over here. It's just a question of, um, assisting and making sure that these guys get taken out and the turn meter from the deaths fuels further turns and gets everyone down. So it's a pretty straightforward battle, nothing much to see out here. Um, Troopers are great for a guaranteed 60. So there you go. Everyone out, and we have 60 banners over here. Now it's only the cheese teams at the back which are left, and then I've got ships. So here I decide to wait for a little bit. Let's go and see what ships he has at the back. So let's take a look at the back. And my opponent has, Radis and Chimera. He usually keeps these 2 ships on defense, so no surprise over there. So I decide to wait for a little bit because I want to keep some pressure on my opponent, given that I've one-shot his front zones. I wanted to keep a little pressure on him, wait for him to go and see how he does. So my opponent did go and one-shot everything in the bottom zone. He got about 54 to 55 banners on average on each of these teams. Must have used at least 1 GL over there, I'm sure, because he had 2 GLs on offense. And then hasn't touched the back zone over here. And then up top, he took out the Grievous squad, but dropped, you don't see it over here, but he dropped, let me see if I can hide that. Yep, you can see over here, he's dropped a couple of battles on the Grievous squad, which is great because it gives me some room to operate now. So I've one-shot his board. As long as I one-shot the rest of his board, I can comfortably win because he's dropped 1 battle over here. So that's what we will attempt to do. I'm going to go ahead and take out the ships first. Chimera and Radis. I've got plenty that can take it out. I've got Rebels, I've got my own Radis, I've got my own Empire fleet. So I decide to go against the Chimera fleet with my own Radis, I believe, because there is a first order, there's a TIE fighter right in the beginning. So, you can always one-shot it with Poe. So you can get it down to 3 versus 2 ships right at the beginning. So I like to use Radis versus that. Let's see how this battle goes. So first things first, I one-shot TIE fighter pilot, and it has no protection, so Poe special can't be evaded. And evasion on TIE fighter is always irritating, so it's always great when you can, bypass that. So I land the breach on Imperial TIE bomber, And now there's tons of debuffs over here. Do an AoE, which gets dodged. And I decided to do the healing over here because I want to heal up my Houndstooth so that he survives a little bit. Maybe I should have called a reinforcement because now my opponent got his reinforcement in, and then my Houndstooth gets taken out, which is not a good sign because you you want your tank to be around, especially when facing Empire fleets. I'm trying to take out um, the TIE bomber, but the shuttle somehow for some reason gave the taunt to Vader, which was great. Hey, I'll take it. But you see, I'm pretty far away from my ultimate. Usually, I'm at about 1 or 2 away from my ultimate right now, but I'm not doing specials, or I'm not getting enough foresight, so my specials are not reducing fast enough. So that's a problem. And now this guy comes in with the daze, which is also problematic. But I'm trying to take down these ships as soon as I can. I get in the Ebon Hawk because that's great against Empire fleets to prevent target lock from being applied. And here maybe I should have gone after the Sith bomber because he taunts every time Sith take damage. And you can see over here, Grand Admiral Thrawn has gotten rid of one of the ships of mine and increased cooldowns on my ship as well, which is not good because now I'm again 2 away from the ultimate. My ultimate is pretty far and I'm losing ships at a fast pace. There, my Poe is gone as well. So not really what I want to see over here. But you can see over here, I'm still 1 away from my ultimate. So maybe in the next turn, I'm going to get it. So I get my last ship in and try to do what I can to take out the other ships. Luckily, none of the ships remaining behind are much threat. I reached my ultimate, and now it's relatively easier getting the battle under control. So I need to take out the Sith Marauder ship. It's an R7 Sith Marauder, which is why it's giving me so much of a problem. Finally get rid of him, and now I need to get rid of the other 2 ships before I lose any more. So the this ship is taken care of now. Final ship, Emperor shuttle, and it's should be reasonably easy taking this out. But still, I end with pretty low banners over here because you can see I've lost quite a few of my ships, 3 of my ships, and I ended with only 54 banners because I had low health and low protection on the rest, which is not a good thing to do with Radis because Radis is typically known for high banner wins just because of the protection recovery and all of that, but I wasn't able to get that done. So I need to recover more protection over here because I don't want to give any room to my opponent. So I take in Rebels versus his Radis fleet, which I think is fine. You have to just be careful about the AoE from Rey's Millennium Falcon, which is why you need to take out Rey's Millennium Falcon whenever you can. I decide to target Rey's Millennium Falcon because she doesn't have that buff yet, which makes her counter. So I do this, and then I take it out right in the beginning. Now I need to work on Poe because Poe is the next most dangerous ship. So I apply a target lock over there, and see if I can take out Poe's ship. There we go. So he's out. Now it's just a question of getting in Cassian and finishing off the final resistance pilot. Targeted attack, and it's gone. So made up for some banners over here, 65. So on average, about 59, 60 between both the ship battles. So made up for a few banners over there. Now, in the bottom zone, this is cheese, and I have more than enough left to take it out for 60 banners each, so not much of a problem. So I decided to go in with my Mon Mothma squad, the turn meter version of it. And this one is typically a very reliable counter, but check out what happens over here. My game freezes. The app For some reason, I think either it was connectivity issue or something within the app itself got screwed up, and I wasn't able to. I waited for a long time, but there was some error with the connection, and I ended up restarting. So I was praying, hoping that that it wouldn't count as a lost battle. But when I went back in and took a look at the battles, you can see over here. Um, when I went back in and took a look at the battles in the down zone, it registered as a drop battle, which was really bad, which was really sad for me because now my opponent also dropped a battle and I had that extra room, and now I've been forced to drop a battle because of this crashed battle. So now it becomes extremely dicey because my opponent, even with the drop battle, I think I'm in a more decent position because my opponent needs to get about 63, 64 in each of his ship battles and 59 in each of his character zones in order to win. So I'm still sitting in a good position, but I don't want to take a risk. So I decide to take the rest of these teams out as efficiently as I can. So against and I've got more than enough teams, so that's not an issue. But I need to be efficient over here and pray that my opponent slips up a little more. I think as long as I'm more efficient than my opponent, I should be okay. So here I take the bounty hunter squad against the bounty hunter. It's a mirror match, but I got aura lead, and my bounty hunters are faster. So I decide to go in with this, and it's pretty straightforward. You get frenzy with Bosk, and then your grief is supposed to be second fastest on the team, and you need to get as many people assisting as possible to get the contract. So I got one assist on IG-88, got another assist on him, and my contract is already reached. Stunned with Cad Bane, and then I get rid of Dengar over here because I hate his um, thermals. They always strip banners. So now it's just a question of controlling the rest of these guys with stuns whenever I can, and that's why I love Cad Bane. I'm glad I had to take him up to R5 because he does a pretty decent job with with all these stuns on his special. Um, so on all the assists, the stuns which are happening are due to Aura's basic. I've loaded Aura for tons of potency just so that I can control the enemy with stuns. And then along with Cad's special, which again I've loaded him for potency, I land tons of stun and I'm able to control this team without these guys even getting a move on. And Cad has got that unique which allows him to reduce the cooldown on his special, on his stun, um, with certain when certain criteria is met. I don't really remember what that is, but he does reduce his cooldown on his stun quite a lot. So very easy to end with full health and full protection with this team, just because you can control a lot with stuns over here. I think Cad is going to be a permanent fixture on that team for me now. Just because he's got this amazing controllability with stuns. Now with the others, I decided to take in against the Karth squad. I decided to take in Bad Batch just because they've got healing immunity. They've got daze, which prevents them from assisting. Tons of good stuff. So I usually take in Gideon. I like to take in a Gideon or Thrawn or another strong character like Shakti as a fifth with my Bad Batch. But here I probably didn't need it. So just wanted to squeeze as many banners out as I could. So good outcome, ended with all five stuns on these guys. And my Bad Batch is only G11, but they're close to 7 stars right now. I'm farming them up right now, and these guys can do a pretty decent job on their own. In my first match, you'll see in the video link that I left below, I tried to take them against Grievous, but it ended up only killing 3 of the 5 characters in there. So at G11, I don't think that they are ready for Grievous yet. But at G11, they can take out so many other good squads like Night Sisters or Geos or B squads like these, and end with full health and full protection. So, I would wait for Grievous until you're at least G12, maybe G13 on a couple of main ones, but I wouldn't take them against Grievous if they're only G11. So 61 banners over here, made up a little bit. And then against Ewoks, I decide to try something interesting over here. Let me show you what I did. So I decided to go in with Boba lead because Boba is very easy to end with full health and full protection on Boba lead. And then I got Gideon because he's faster than the Ewoks to reduce their turn meter, and then I got Wampa in there to do the damage, both AOE days as well as the tremendous amount of damage that he does. So plus Boba is going to give him tons of extra critical damage as well, so that will boost his offense up a little bit. So first thing I do is I reduce everyone's turn meter with Gideon. Where's Logray? There he is. And then I make sure that I kill Logray first with the Boba, and now it's just a question of getting rid of these characters one by one. It's a really simple battle, and with both these characters get bonus protection, Wampa as well as Gideon, so it's pretty easy to end with full health and full protection with a team like this. So 62 banners over there. So I'm still in a decent spot. My opponent needs about 59 banners per match to win. So I'm ahead in the efficiency game. So let's see how my opponent finally did. So this is the end of the attack phase, and my opponent wasn't able to clear me. So he got about 1672. It did take out the Padme squad for about 56 or 55, something like that. And then at the top, he had some problem with my. He did one shot both the crew as well as the Poggle squad. Both of those squads stripped banners though. They gave him only 51 banners each. Both the Poggle Django as well as the crew squad. So they did their job in an efficiency match. That's what you want. Your opponent getting early 50s, even if they're able to one shot it. You want them to get low banners. So crew and Poggle both did their job. And look at that. The JTR squad with C3PO in there held on for 3 battles. My opponent just wasn't able to take it out. He must have thrown some really good teams against it, but just wasn't able to take it out. So that's where we ended the round. My opponent has typically won by 1,000 banners or 500 banners or something like that. And even the couple of cases that I found that he lost over the last 3 or 4 seasons, he's only lost either due to a tie or lost by less than 5 banners. But in this particular case, he lost by over 1,000 banners, which I think must be new for him. But I really enjoyed this match. I mean, this was getting to analyze my opponent and estimating what they will keep on defense and adjusting my offense appropriately. That was pretty intense. And kudos to my opponent for keeping a tough defense, and yep, giving us all an entertaining match. So a really good outcome, really good match, entertaining. So now we are on to the finals, and this is if you thought this match was tough, wait till you see my finals opponent. This guy was 860k lifetime banners. My final opponent, Funkylicious from Cantina Rebels Guild, he is at 870k lifetime banners, and he's also on an 85 match winning streak, just like my current opponent who was on a 20, so not 85, 25 match winning streak. My current opponent was at a 23 match winning streak. So Funkylicious, the opponent I'm facing in the finals, huge win streak, and I've actually faced him in the 3 or 4 seasons back in a 3v3 match, and I beat him. So Funkylicious, I think, is hoping to get revenge on me. He's also got 4 GLs just like me. He's got an Ultimate Jedi Master Kenobi. So it's going to be a really good match. Looking forward to that one. I'm going to switch things up. Still going to stick with tough defense, but I'm going to switch a lot of things up and hopefully leave a few surprises for Funkylicious at the back. He's been a viewer of mine. He commented on the last video that I had of both of us together. So he says that he's been following me for a while. So he'll probably be aware of a lot of my strategies and the things that I'm used to doing. So I will need to be creative in dealing with my finals opponent. All right, so that was it for second match. I will be back with the finals, and let's see if Funkylicious is able to get his revenge on me or whether I prevail. I will catch you guys in a couple of days. Take care and happy